You got to talk about that Uncharted movie trailer.
Oh, is that big? I don't know.
Oh,
I thought
It's
I fell
yeah.
asleep.
So they showed the. By the way, this thing leaked yesterday. I saw like not the whole thing, which is like a 30-second clip or whatever. And I'm like, wow, that looks bad. I'm not, and I wasn't talking about the quality. I'm talking about what was actually happening. And you saw the full 2-minute trailer, or whatever it was. And by the way, something I've noticed on Twitter, right? When a new trailer comes out, it's
Everybody loses their mind.
it's okay to heap praise on it, to say the movie will be fantastic. But if you do the opposite, people get on you, right? They're like, and the common criticism is, you haven't seen the movie. How can you judge it? But I'm like, you haven't seen the movie. How can you say it's going to be great? Exactly. So what the fuck, you know? So this is why I kept my mouth shut about what I saw, because I was not impressed. As a matter of fact, there's this article I read, and a couple of videos have been done on this too, that explain why modern CG is so bad. This hit every single point.
Yep.
The color grade, the color grading, the wonky physics, camera angles that a human can't capture. Like, holy shit. You know, there was this one scene where like it looks like the scene from Uncharted 3 with the plane and shit. I'm like, yo, it looks like something from the Hobbit movie where they're like jumping, you know, through the lake or whatever, the waterfalls. And I'm like, yo, what?
The river.
The river. It was a river, and what are they jumping on? Like the crumbling bridge. It was. Oh my god. It reminded me that these guys were like, they're jumping upwards on a falling plane. Like, physics would not allow that to happen. You know, unless you're you know.
Maybe they're trying to say, yeah, you could do that in the game.
No, you can, even in the game you couldn't do that. You know? So yeah, I thought the trailer was basura, trash.
Yeah, I mean, and then it's like the one other thing about it is like Marky Mark, because he didn't want to wear the fucking mustache, right? He looks just like Tom Holland's dad. I'm like, okay, I mean, he doesn't feel, he doesn't have that old feel to him. He just looks like, hey, look, it's Marky Mark.
Yeah, and that was a poor casting choice. I mean, you couldn't get Bruce Campbell to do that role. Just give him a mustache, and he's already kind of gray, so just let him just wear the gray.
He could be he'd make a great Sully.
Yeah, I think like he has that personality. Like that's who I think of when I play the games. I'm like, yeah, Bruce Campbell could do that. Yeah. I mean, Mark doesn't even have couldn't give him a fake mustache.
No, you know, he didn't want to wear. Yeah, he didn't want to grow one or wear one. So,
well,
whatever.
Too bad. Yo, where's Tom Cruise? He'll make him wear a mustache.
Why? And then, you know, I get it. You know, Marky Mark's an award-winning thing, but the last video game movie he was in was an utter piece of garbage.
Oh, Max Payne.
Max Payne. Oh yeah.
Max Payne. It was literally a movie.
Terrible.
It was a movie that literally was just a revenge plot. You could literally have done that thing, you know, spot for spot. How the fuck did they mix that shit movie up? Seriously.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, man.
I didn't have the same issues that Tony did. Well, I mean the ones that he mentioned earlier, but to me it's more of what Chris and Manny are talking about. Is just the casting. I think that's my biggest issue with the whole thing. You know, Drake, Nathan Drake is like, you know, he's not young in the games. Like, he obviously there's flashbacks, but he's never young. Like the appeal of his character is, it's like, oh, been there, done that, kind of quirky and smarky remarks and stuff like that.
Tom Holland doesn't even really fit that. I mean, I know what they're trying to do because he's Spider-Man. You know, his Spider-Man might be a little bit more quippy, but I don't know. His Spider-Man is never quippy. He's kind of a dope. You know what I mean? Like, I would say Andrew Garfield would probably fit that sort of quippy sort of character more than Holland.
Yeah. By the way, Carlos, I do want to state that I also have a problem with the casting. So, you know, so it's those problems I mentioned and that. You know,
I assumed you did. That's why I had to clarify. It was like what you mentioned so far.
No, because it's like, and here's the thing, I like Tom Holland, but he's the same character in every movie, basically, right? Yeah. And here's the thing, because we were saying, oh, he's a young Drake and stuff. I'm like, okay, I get that, right? And I even saw some people saying maybe he'll grow into role. Tom Holland is like 23. That dude, I guarantee you, if they were to make 4 Uncharted movies, by the 4th movie, he'll still look like that.
Look the same, yeah.
Yeah, because he's just one of those people. Like, I guarantee you, when that dude's 40 years old, he's still going to look the same. You know,
he's kind of like Michael J. Fox, right? Michael J. Fox reached a certain age, and he always looked that age.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's a really good point. He's
or John Cusack. I'm like, yo, this dude doesn't age. You know,
or was it Paul Rudd?
Yeah,
right?
Paul Rudd. No, you're right, Paul. By the way, I meant to say Paul Rudd, but I always confuse him and John Cusack. They kind of look the same. I think John Cusack just renamed himself Paul Rudd at one point.
But he's like the Highlander. It's like, I got to lose this identity now.
but I think Tom Holland's one of those guys. Like, yo, you just don't age. So even if you get a bunch of these Uncharted movies, it's always going to be the adventures of young Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to perpetually look like an 18-year-old. So the casting, very, very not, very bad casting.
Also, them sort of raping all of the set pieces. Okay, now you can't do Uncharted 3, right?
What do you
can't
mean,
do you can't do Uncharted 3 because they already did the plane gag.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're not trying to follow the storyline. Like they're
they're not. They're literally.
It's a mishmash.
Yeah, it's a mishmash. Yeah, they're at one point they're at a party, at another point they're falling out of the plane. The other one they're probably gonna do some shit in the jungle, and then he sees it. Yeah. Then it's like what do they call it? The greatest hits of the Uncharted games. When you start blowing your load all over the place with reusing all these set pieces. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if they actually did Uncharted 1, in other words, they had their own goofy versions, like prequel movies of young Drake, and then finally, boom, you get to Uncharted 1, and he's looking, he's what's her face.
Yeah, and that, by the way, I got to say that too, like, because there's a scene with him and Chloe. I'm assuming that's Chloe, and it's like, yo, it looks like she's like cradle robbing, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's a little kid. It just looks weird,
I think the way they're gonna set up Chloe is not for Drake, not Drake.
Or for Marky Mark,
I think
right?
It's Marky Mark.
That makes sense.
Marky Mark than age wise more than him.
Yeah, like they need a younger looking girl for Drake, because
so then why not make Marky Mark Drake then? Like if
thought he was too old.
He looks the part. He looks the part more than Tom does, and that's a weird thing. Like
yes,
the whole time I
agree with Brian.
I thought okay, like the whole Tom thing is maybe like the Drake when he was younger, and then Marky Mark is like Drake now. It's like no, that's silly. I'm like, why? Like even at the end of the trailer, they show like the game art, and it's like Drake looks like he's like 45 or something. So it's like, how are you going to like convince people that like, hey, this kid who looks like he's 16 is somehow this man who's like 45? It's like, come on, like what the hell's wrong with you people?
Yeah. By the way, a couple of things. So, because this movie's been in production forever, right? This how long the movie's been in production. I wrote about this on the freaking blog. That's how long it's been, Manny.
Yeah,
right?
we have.
And at that point, who was tapped to play Nathan Drake? Marky Mark.
Yes, he was, and we said this at the same time. We were like, "What the what? Yeah. Why Marky Mark?"
So with that said, and I'll say, and I kind of brought this up. I think Marky Mark is a terrible actor. I do not like him at all. I agree with everything Brian just said. With that, with everything, my dislike of this guy's acting. I agree with Brian. He would have been a far better Nathan Drake than Tom Holland,
Just on appearance alone.
Yeah, just on appearance alone, So
yeah, because it just feels like, I don't know. I don't want to, because I'm like Tony. I like Tom Holland. I think he does a great stuff on the stuff that I'm pretty sure he's going to do a good job acting. It's just the fit.
Yeah, it's the fit.
I think that's going to be the issue. I mean, obviously, I still have yet to see the movie, so we'll see when it happens. But it just feels like I'm watching Muppet Babies.
Oh,
it's like they do the same adventures. It's just they're just miniature size.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, and those effects are bad. But again, that's just endemic of like modern Hollywood in general. Like this just it's just. I mean, granted, I guess that I don't know if that's a plus. It looks like a video game.
Yeah, the sad thing is it looks like a video game, but not such a good video game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah,
Like,
and please, yeah, go ahead.
Like they again, they reused that whole sequence where he's knocked out and he's hanging from his foot at the end of the plane, and it seemed more dangerous in the game than it did in the movie.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And there was a scene where like he kind of like jumps out of the water. I'm like, for a split second, it looked like CG. I'm like, why did you have to CG that? He's just getting out of the water. He's just literally stepping out of water, So I don't know. It's some weird stuff, man. And I'm going to say this right. I know this is not going to happen. But with that said, Sony, please do not turn this into a game. Just think about it, right? We had that Ratchet and Clank movie that got turned into a game. Imagine if they make a Uncharted game based on the movie. That would be bad.
And Insomniac is developing.
Oh, then it might be hot though. But yeah, it's like, don't do that, please. We don't need the Street Fighter the movie game again.
Oh shit! Antonio Banderas is in this shit.
He is, man. Yeah, he is.
He is. He's playing the villain.
At least they got a real Spanish guy, not that fake one from the first game.
Oh shit.
And it's funny, again, we talked about this a couple episodes ago where it's like that dude, when you hear him talking, like, yeah, that's a good accent. But the instant he says a word in Spanish, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
It's like Gus Fring when he speaks Spanish. I'm like, oh, man.
Like, oh, no, you fucked it up. You fucked it up, man.
I should have just stayed speaking English.
For real. The dude said, like, go ahead.
The first game is the fucking disease one, right?
Yeah. Ooh, segue. It seems to me this movie, just like Uncharted 4, will not have any supernatural elements. I didn't see anything like that.
Interesting.
You know? So do you guys think we'll see anything like that? Because I don't think we will.
On Ghost Pirates? I don't think so.
Yeah. Remember, Uncharted 4 didn't have any of that stuff.
Oh, it didn't. You
fought the fake Yetis?
Yeah, that was two.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, by the way, let's run that. So the first one had the zombies. That's what I'm calling them. They had the zombies. The second one had the Yetis. The third one had the Jinn, and then the fourth one didn't have anything like that. Yeah. So yeah, so I think this movie, because these modern trailers, they gave everything away. This didn't have anything like that at all.
Are they gonna have Drake like shoot somebody 50 times, and it's like, how's this guy still standing?
Actually, are they going to have Drake like murdering an entire like small country's worth of people?
Yeah, right. Oh. Just behind cover. Just
Is he gonna jump in and say "Kitty got wet" or something like that?
Yeah, right.
I think they got a transformer.
Oh man, famine. He's gonna jump into Marco Polo.
Yo, man, I'm rewatching this trailer. There is so much fucking CG in this.
I know it's too much. It's the bad to make it.
It's the bad to make. Is the absolute to make it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Because there's this one scene where like he literally just steps out of water, or like you kind of like
in a cave, right?
Yeah, in a cave. I'm like, why is that CG? For like, I swear to God, watch that scene for like a couple seconds. He's CG for no reason.
When he's coming out, it looks fine, but like after he's kind of out. Like most of his body's out, it's like, oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, why? Like, I don't know. Maybe Tom Holland didn't want to get wet.
I don't like the water. Yeah. I can't swim.
Did you forget I'm Spider-Man, motherfucker?
Oh, Spider-Man, aye. Oh man. So yeah, thumbs down. Thumbs down.
You notice one thing about Tom Holland, and hopefully it's not a sign of the future things to come, but every movie that he does that is not Spider-Man kind of drowns.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean?
CG water?
Yeah,
CG water, yeah.
Well, I mean, he did a Netflix thing. That was garbage. Nobody cared about that. And there was a couple other things he did, and nobody's really caring. Hopefully he's not going to get typecast and, but then again, there's also that problem where he sort of plays the same character. He doesn't really play any characters. At least Andrew Garfield is sort of, he's sort of a chameleon. Sorry, a chameleon.
I was like,
chameleon.
excuse me.
He's a chameleon, and he sort of changes for depending on the role he's in.
Did you see him in Silence?
I didn't. Which was that? Was that the one where he was in World War One?
No, that's Hacksaw Ridge. He's good. He's good in there too. But it's a movie where a couple of missionaries go to Japan.
Shit! I actually wanted to see that movie.
It's too fucking long, but he's good.
Oh yeah. Was he was in the Facebook movie, wasn't he? Like one of the side characters. Yeah. He was good in that.
No. He was Mark Zuckerberg.
No, he wasn't.
Oh no, he was the best friend.
Yeah, he was the best friend. Yeah, he wasn't Mark Zuckerberg. That's the
Brazilian dude.
Yeah.
He was a co-star. He wasn't a side character.
But my point is like that Tom Holland performance is different than Spider-Man, different than Hacksaw Ridge. Like that guy has chops. Tom. Oh,
Holland, you mean Andrew Garfield?
You got Andrew Garfield. My bad. That guy has good range. Tom Holland's the same dude in every fucking movie.
Be fair, there's like one film where he's different. It's called The Devil All the Time.
Is it the one where he goes back in time?
No, I've never heard of that one. But no, it's basically he plays this person in like this like mid 50s, 60s random country in the USA, preachers or rapist type places, and that is actually quite good. Pattinson. Yes, that's actually a really good film. But yeah, I think that's the only one that I've seen where he's actually different.
Oh wow!
The rest are all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. And it's weird because it's like usually actors, become the same in their older years. You know what I'm saying?